I grew up in a two-parent household. I think the people in my house did the best they could with the understanding that they had. Father is from Detroit, mom is from Virginia. The household that I grew up in did not start off as a broken one, but eventually dealing with the trials and tribulations that, that young adults deal with, that home became broken. I tried to get a job, and my mom would not allow me to get a job and go to school at the same time. So I got shoes by way of locker research, for lack of a better term. And so with this locker research, I began to obtain articles that were not mine, but I enjoyed those perks. So I began to steal. Yeah, in short, I began to steal because I didn't, you know what? It's not that I had to steal. Stealing or doing something that was mischievous was almost cool. You almost got points for it. And then once it became that, I'm the smartest person in here, that's when everything became dangerous. Because if you're talking to somebody and they got all the sense in the world, it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. I stopped going to school 12th grade. I had a child on the way, and I started off breaking smaller laws, like breaking in lockers, breaking in cars. And then as I got away with those smaller misdemeanor crimes, it just kind of escalated. So I grew, kind of like you transition from college to the pros. I kind of did that in a criminal atmosphere. So I began to take things more aggressively with firearms. I found that there was a false sense of power given to a young teen with a firearm that, was desirable. I could control the entire room with this firearm. And then also, I can make what you're gonna make this month in a matter of moments. And when you take an individual who has had holy shoes and didn't always have the clothes that he wanted, and now I can just go get whatever I want, however I want, then again, you have a ticking time bomb, but you have somebody who assumes that he's got it figured out. And when you have somebody, again, basing your livelihood off a altered or dysfunctional way of life, it's just a matter of time before you conflict with society as that form of society that has a tad bit of integrity. You're going to conflict with it, and they have a place for you. And I think that, in the Black community, I don't think that there's a misunderstanding as to what tools can be used to move forward in life. I think that we're accustomed to using the pliers and the hammer, and that's all we're exposed to in our immediate circle. So we think that, this is it, not really understanding that there's a C-clamp, it's a gang of other tools. And once you begin to use those other tools, then you begin to really understand what the world is within itself. But if you're stuck with, okay, I'm either gonna sell drugs or I'm gonna rob, it's gonna be a very short lifespan, very short career, period. The first time I got in trouble with the law was actually, my uncle has a roofing company called Brown's Roofing Service. And this was around about the time the Olympics were here, like in 96, 95, 96. And I simply, I did not have my driver's license was suspended. And there was a roadblock, but I convinced myself that it was okay to drive through this roadblock without a license. And that's the first night I ever spent in jail. I cried like a baby. After that, my run-ins with the law, there was only one more run-in. And that run-in was, I attempted to rob an entity that had both security and security with firearms. And to say the least, I had gotten away with robbing people and robbing entities for a long period of time where it was like nothing. I was like, I'm gonna do this and I'll be back at the club later on. It's cool, do it again tomorrow, go shopping, do it again, go buy another car. I tried to rob a grocery store, and it just so happened that the police pulled up while I was in the midst of the robbery. Nobody had called him. He wasn't looking for anybody. He had stopped for a pack of cigarettes. And he pulled up while we were in the store. And that was my second and last run-in with the police. I was in Judge Hancock's courtroom, and that sentence was 10 years to serve. And my first thought was, why is the air so thin? And why are my knees buckling? And then my mom was standing with me, and I remember she put her fist in my back. She didn't punch me, she was just, because I was shaking. I was like, 10 years is a long time. And at the age of 19, I was like, man, I got a daughter. She's only a couple of weeks old. She's gonna be 9 when I come home. And it just kind of just hit me at the same time. And she was just like, you know what, don't cry. She was like, you put yourself in this situation. And I initially was going to trial because although they had caught me on the scene of the crime, in my mind, or I had convinced myself that I was not guilty because they didn't have certain elements in the crime. But then I think that I began to mature slowly but surely. I stopped depending on other individuals to bail me out. And I said to myself, you know what? I've committed a crime. I've wronged society. So when you wrong society, you have to pay a debt. That's the way order is. If people walk around and just do what they want to all the time, then where is the peace? There is no peace within chaos. So I was at 19, I'm trying to come to means with that. When I was given 10 years, I just, I took it like a man. I didn't cry in front of anybody else, but when I got back to the cell, I still didn't cry in front of my fellow cellmates. But when I got in the shower, because in the shower I can explain why there's water running off my face or whatnot, but you don't want to show any kind of weakness. But it was a 10-year sentence from I was 19 and I got out when I was 29. I am Dainhen Butler. I am a case manager for at-risk teens. I am a certified anger management specialist. I am a case manager for ex-offenders. I am a small business owner. I'm a father of 2 beautiful daughters. You know what? My dream in prison was to be a writer. It was to be a father to my child, to be a business owner, to be a asset to my community. And today I'm on my 2nd book. I just had my 2nd daughter. I'm with my children every day. I find worth in helping individuals not go down that path. I just left elementary school doing, reading books with, kids that I don't know. This is something I do on the regular. I'm at a place where I'm employed to assist at-risk teens. I'm a certified anger management specialist. The jobs that I have, I would do it for free, and you pay me, and the checks don't bounce. So it's awesome. I'm winning, good times. And I'm a business owner. Like, I own a moonwalk service. So on the weekends, I make more money, and we starting to, this is my 5th year. And in 2009, I went back to school for marketing. And I didn't know they was gonna give me, they gave me a financial aid check. It was like $4,500. So I said, okay, I can go buy a bunch of clothes. Or what they taught me in school was to, identify a need, try to address that need. So I bought 2 inflatable tents. Those tents paid for 2 more. By the end of the semester, I had purchased 2 ice cream trucks. Now I'm up to 18 moonwalks. I'm at a point now where I'm going to have to purchase 2 trucks so I can have people deliver. Because what I'm learning now is that because I'm a business owner, it's not about being hands-on. I can get more done than what I can do. So right now in this field, I'm trying to build relationships. So when I say I want to have a book drive, or we want to feed the hungry, I can make a call and I can have a number of people coming out. So I have to establish those relationships. They have to see how sincere I am about what it is that I'm doing. So when I call you, you come. But also within that, I would like to see my moonwalk company just really take off. But I'm not complaining. If I stay where I'm at right now, I'm winning. I can pay my bills with just what I make with my moonwalk service. So this is a plus. I am everything that I set out to be. But I think that within that transition, I've been given an assignment, meaning that I don't know what God is going to have me do next, because I didn't think that they actually paid me to go into the prison system to talk to individuals. And I was like, I did this for free for 10 years. You're going to give me a check? It's like, awesome. This is really cool. But it's not a situation where I don't operate with integrity, because I know that I'm being watched. I know that, if I mess this up, I don't just mess this up for me. I mess this up for everybody that's ever gotten out and tried to do something that was gonna help people. You know what, Butler before prison was not all bad. At one point in time, I wanted to be an attorney and a police officer. But that's when, the Cosby Show was coming on every Thursday night in different world. Like now we got No disrespect to any of the rappers, but they're everywhere. And so to answer the question, I was at one point in time as pure as they came. I played sports. I had good grades. It wasn't as if I went to school and did not enjoy it. I enjoyed school. As a teen, I came to a point where I needed some type of guidance, whether it was just a man saying that I understand what you're going through, or a group of people, or somebody just addressing me and my inner thoughts to a degree. That did not happen. And so I came up with my own explanation. I came up with my own understanding, and that led me to a different place. So the difference between then and now is that I'm fully bald now, but I have a mission now. The mission is to put goodness in the world by all aspects, whether it's feeding the hungry. It's not a race thing. It's if I can get a group of guys together and we can come paint a graffiti wall white, we've put some goodness in the world. If I can help a lady cross, I was on the phone with a female and I was like, I'm about to help this old lady cross the street. She blocked me because she thought I was joking. No, I'm seriously about to help this lady cross the street. I don't know her, but you know what? It's the right thing to do. And I get pleasure out of doing good. That's the only reason I do good. If I got pleasure out of doing bad stuff, guess what? We wouldn't be having this interview. I get pleasure out of putting goodness in the world. My message to you individuals who are incarcerated or formerly incarcerated, I would say seek as much help as possible. Never turn down any assistance. Never not read a book. Never not expose yourself to a positive element if you can. Always question self. Always critique self, because when you critique self, then you can begin to work on self. I blame myself for everything, even those things that I'm not responsible for, because if I blame myself for world hunger, or if I blame myself for something that's going on in my community, then I can take an active stance, or I can have direct actions that could affect that element in a positive manner. My message to you is to utilize every resource that is at your disposal, create relationships, show individuals that you are ready for change. But before you do that, you must be okay with self. You must first want change from within. And if that change from within, if you have a problem looking at God in the mirror, then you're gonna have difficulties being real with the people that you interact with. So I say, check yourself from the neck up, be real with yourself. And once you're real with yourself, then you can begin to be real with everybody else that you interact with, which will assist you in a transition that is a healthy one, not just for you and your family, but for your community as well.